Work. Teamwork.
I used to love that show.
Aren't you about tired of listening to sports shows with all the woke bullshit? So are we. This is Patriot Sports Radio. Patriot Sports Radio. Fed up with the national talking heads and biases of mainstream sports media. If it's sports from the high school level to the pros, we're talking about it like the red-blooded Americans we are.
God bless America.
God bless America.
God bless America.
Let's do this. And now, here's Eric, Angela, John, Chris, and the coach.
Eric, you there?
Are we gonna make it?
Are you guys not hearing? None of you hear the song? The intro song?
Yeah.
I'm still hearing it. Oh, okay. Anyways.
I hear people.
I was hearing a chopped and screwed slow motion version of it, hence the slow motion guitar. Anyways, off to a running start. Welcome back, my friends. If you're new, then welcome in Patriot Sports Radio. My name is Eric. I am on drugs. Glad to have you with us. Thank you for those reviews. Chris is over there working on stuff. He's got 4 screens going. He's problem solving. He's making things happen. The important thing is the show is happening. Coach is over there doing homework, getting certified for things. I don't know, furthering his education. Yet again, never too many accomplishments in the coach household. Angela's here. She hates summer. John's got a nice bandana on. How we doing? What's your problem with summer, Angela?
Oh, I hate it. I can't stand the heat. I have to get out of the kitchen. I can't take it. I don't. It doesn't work well with me.
Doesn't agree with you?
It's annoying. I get sick. It's not good. I hate it. Hard pass.
You're a fall person. How's the Oklahoma summer going, Coach? A little hot?
Yeah, it's hot. Something's going on. It's got like we have like hurricane rains and then at night and in the morning, and then in the afternoon it's just melt your face hot, which essentially is only good for the grass. The grass loves it. You have to mow every 3 days. You literally can mow, and 3 days later it looks like you didn't touch your yard. So it's ridiculous.
Fantastic.
Well, I don't know about you negative Nancy's, but summer's in full swing here in Denver, and it is clutch.
Nice.
Was it a balmy 70 today in Denver?
It's 90, but it's okay. It's all right.
It's a Denver 90, so
That's
it's
right.
okay. Yeah.
Let me tell you, perfect weather for the ballpark Friday night. You had the Yankees in town and beat the Yankees, and I'm telling you, there's nothing better than being in a building where the Yankees lose. Got to see my old guy Rizzo at the plate and Chris Bryant.
Nice.
Yeah, how did they look?
Not the same, man. It's not the same. It's bizarro seeing that. But also, 2016 was 7 years ago. So what can you expect?
Yeah.
Oh, Schwarber's still crushing baseballs.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Been a minute. Gosh, those were good years.
They were great years.
Speaking of good times, justice has finally been served to Alvin Kamara after he and his friends allegedly caved that guy's eye socket into his face, permanently altering his life. Kamara has agreed to plead guilty to a lesser misdemeanor charge for his alleged role and will serve 30 hours of community service and pay $105,000 restitution to the victim, plus a $500 fine, because why not, I guess. So now I'm just looking at my WWGD bracelet, wondering what will Goodell do, because this is kind of an ugly thing he did. It was in a city where they just added a franchise the night before the Pro Bowl, a game he was then allowed to play in. And there's video. That's what Goodell really doesn't like, is if what you do is on video.
Right. It's undeniable at that point.
Yeah. It takes that gray area out where they love to live.
Ugh. I don't know. Does he need to be made an example of, or have we had enough examples?
I think if he's smart, he makes an example out of him because, to be honest, is there anybody who really cares what Kamara is going to do this year? We're not talking about Tom Brady. Sit him for a year. You know, that would seem justified in my opinion.
And even if he was not talented at all, third string, you can't be doing that shit. Just saying.
No.
Right.
You know what? Goodell doesn't need the Saints to be good this year, so I think maybe we'll see him throw the book at him.
That would be okay with me.
He's also
think
got
he goes
other
the other
coals
way
in the
with
fire.
it. I think he gets a slap on the wrist, and this goes away.
I think it'll be somewhere in that 2 to 4 range because there's video. Maybe.
Yeah,
closer
I mean
to
we're
4.
a couple games, 2 game suspension for misconduct, and that'll be it.
Our buddy
They'll hand that out on a. They'll hand it out in the middle of the week, buried under a bunch of injury reports, and no one will even know.
Right.
Yep. That'll come out on Friday afternoon at about 2:30. Alvin Kamara suspended 3 games. And by the way, here's 19 other things that happened. Like our friend Mr. Xavier Babudar, a.k.a. Chiefsaholic, he was apprehended near Sacramento, California. Federal agents charged him with 1 count of bank theft and 1 count of transporting stolen property across state lines. Is money stolen property? That robbery is one of 7 he was accused of committing or attempting between April of 22 and December of 22. Wow. That's putting in work. That's 1 a month, just about. Prosecutors said he purchased and redeemed more than $1 million worth of chips from casinos across the Midwest that appeared to be connected to the stolen money. That's what he'd do. He'd take all his bank robbery funds and then go buy chips and then just play a couple hands and then cash them out.
He cleaned his money at a casino?
Yeah.
Wait, say it again real slow. It still sounds ridiculous.
He cleaned his money in one of the most heavily surveyed places you can be on Earth. Okay.
Cool.
Yep. A grand jury will determine whether Chiefsaholic will be indicted on the additional charges. He made it 4 months on the run. I guess that's not bad. I don't think he'll be bonding out this time. I don't think they'll let him out of their sight. This Brian Johnson, he's the OC for the Eagles. They interviewed him for the job. He's known Jalen Hurts since Jalen Hurts was in preschool. Jalen's dad was his coach in high school. He knows the whole family. He never brought it up in his interview. He wanted to get the job, quote, on merit. And Sirianni and the former OC say they didn't know when they interviewed him. And they didn't find out until he told them after he hired him.
Tip of the cap to you, but also not smart, guy. I mean,
yeah,
that's an advantage that your coworkers might want to be aware of.
Yeah.
I understand to get the job, but then the first thing is, oh, and by the way, I have a working relationship with your franchise quarterback.
I just don't understand why he didn't lead with that. I mean,
yeah,
but maybe
that sounds to me like a way that you're applying for that job for a reason.
Yeah.
And why would that not be the angle of the card that you would play? I'm applying for this job because I have a connection with this guy and I want to win. I don't know. I just think the connection between there is not a detriment in any way, shape, or form. Now, where I see it going bad is if you were connected to Antonio Brown or something, now you would want to hide that.
Yeah.
But maybe he was genuinely not sure. If they would have went to Jalen and been like, hey, we're going to hire this guy, maybe, what do you think? Do you think he was worried about what he would say? I mean, it sounded from like what I read that they have a great relationship, but maybe in the back of his head, he was like, I don't know what this kid's going to say.
It's weird.
It is.
I don't understand that.
I think it's cool.
Can you imagine going to, I guess if you were interviewing in Cleveland and you're related to Baker, I could see, but that's not the case. They just want to, those guys, they did just were in the Super Bowl. They didn't win it, but they probably will this year.
Right.
Yeah, most likely. I don't know if I saw I saw a tweet from Bovada asking if the Titans were Super Bowl contenders now. I'm not sure if that was sarcasm or not. DeAndre Hopkins went there. I don't know if that puts you over the top. Tennessee is sort of where wide receivers go to die. But he got a big bag of money, $26 million over 2 years. Not bad. I looked up some past free agent acquisitions. Julio Jones, remember that? 31 receptions for 434 yards and 0 touchdowns. Andre Johnson, 9 receptions for 85 yards. And I forgot about Randy Moss. My brain blocked that out because it's just such a horrible image. He caught 6 balls for 80 yards and no touchdowns. So I'm not sure what Hopkins has left, probably more than Andre Johnson did, but probably not much more than Julio did. I don't know. I'm not very excited about it.
I had a pretty good discussion about that this morning. Well, I people forget, they have Burks, and Burks is not bad. My concern isn't the wide receiver core, which I was talking to the Oracle here in my house a little bit about that, and he said the same thing. He's like, their wide receiver core is rancid. You got Burks, and that's it, and everybody else is pretty much a no name. And I was thinking, the problem I don't see is not with trotting out Burks and him. That the problem I see is you don't have any other weapons there, and especially at quarterback is the big question mark. Now, if Vrabel's going to be, Vrabel's going to have them competitive. I mean, if you line up and do nothing but run off tackle with the guy that's carrying the ball there, that's kind of goodish, you're still going to be competitive. I just don't know. I don't think it's going to be quite the disaster that we're painting it. My big question mark for the Titans is at quarterback.
They're saying Malik Willis is outplaying the kid. So we'll see. Malik Willis, who was just about cut last year. I mean, he had no hope. Maybe now he's second.
Is he the old Liberty Flame?
Yep.
Yeah. Wasn't he a second round pick?
Well,
to check my notes.
And he's very much kind of a guy that can move around a little bit. He's not quite the presence that Hurts has. I think he's more mobile. I think he's kind of a poor man's what? I mean, who's the guy with the Ravens?
Jacoby Brissett.
Kind of good. No.
Poor man's, yeah.
I know
what's his name?
Lamar Jackson?
Lamar.
Is it Baker Mayfield?
Yeah. My mind went blank. No, he's better than Baker. I think.
Well, they were starting an off-the-street Josh Dobbs over Malik last year, so he must have made some kind of progress. Maybe he took that serious.
It'll be interesting to see. I mean,
the Titans are an organization where you don't know what they're doing. What's their plan? I'd love to look at their plan and say, do you think that's going to work?
Well, and I really want to hope that because Vrabel's making the moves over there, that there's some logic in it, that there's going to be something that where we go, oh, well, that makes sense.
They've had GMs come and go. Didn't they infamously fire their GM midseason last year? Maybe Vrabel needs to be a louder voice there then, because I trust Vrabel. He's a smart guy. He was around Belichick long enough to understand what's what. So, yeah, the Titans are an organization that came close. They were right there, and the juice really ran out on the offensive side for sure. I mean, let's not forget they knocked touchdown Tommy out of the playoffs, and then now this is where they're at
with a pick six.
Yeah, that's right.
You really just look at their roster. They were on the verge of just blowing it up and starting over last year. I thought they might move from Henry, and there was talks that was going to be the big free agent move in the offseason, and it never really materialized. So we're back with that. I mean, they're pretty good up front. He can run the ball a little bit. You got Burks, who's a rookie. And then you bring him in, who's obviously been around a long time. I just wonder how much gas he has left in the tank, too. Are you coming back to retire and get one last check, or are you coming back to really contribute? And I just, who do they have at tight end? Who do they have? What's the other parts? It's just there's a lot of intangibles.
Chigoziem Okonkwo. So they're in good shape at tight end. Another franchise
solid.
that there's question marks about, Commodores. Maybe they're sold, maybe they're not sold. Somebody needs to check on our friend Andrew Robb. I suppose it was wishful thinking that the Snyder family would really finally release its icy grip on the once proud franchise, but we had a last-second snafu. The leaked Gruden emails could threaten to complicate this approval, and the closing. The complications are described as, quote, significant and not just some small snag, expressing the view that the issues could delay the owner's approval of the sale and the closing of the deal if they're not resolved. But the person, the purchaser, also left open the possibility that Snyder and his attorneys merely are attempting to extract last-minute concessions from the NFL on legal indemnifications related to Gruden's lawsuit. So, hang on. Before we push this through, we're not going to be in trouble for anything Gruden said, right? Like when you find the ones we didn't release, we're not in trouble for those either. You need to tell us that right now. Is that what's happening?
If it is, I don't understand it. And I think this probably goes beyond my comprehension of the situation. But I would think the NFL would say, let's turn in the keys right now. And no, you're still under investigation. We need new blood in there. Let's get it moving. And you just sit and wait in timeout while we do all of our stuff. Yeah. I don't know what
I'm kind of with John.
I don't know what Snyder could have that could hold it up. I think the NFL should be the ones saying yes or no. I mean, what is this guy's superpower at this point? He's just a gutless worm at a professional level.
Right. And really, if we're talking about stuff that obviously the magnitude of what they think is going on or happened, like, I mean, there's a point where you have to answer to those kinds of a thing, even if you've sold the team. Like, you can't be like, oh yeah, you're absolved of all of whatever that is that might pop up that we don't even know yet. That's ridiculous.
These are the things that just baffle me about the NFL. You have one of the most powerful organizations on the face of the earth, and they want to take action immediately on frivolous things like I don't know, just some of the frivolous things that they moved on with the heavy hammer, but they want to set on their hands when it comes to this deal. And I don't understand, why have they not intervened in this? I mean, there's got to be somebody at the office up there that's going, hey, let's just move on from this guy. I mean, even if he has the goods, even if he has, the 8x10 glossies, just let's go ahead and move on from him. Intervene, make this happen. That he needs to be gone. They need to move on from him. The organization wants it. I mean, obviously he wanted it because he's dangled the carrot out there. I just don't understand why this is allowed.
The fans overwhelmingly want it.
Yeah, the only thing I can think like of, blackmail. It just is like the politician who gets caught banging the secretary, and he either comes to the wife and is like, "Hey, we're gonna keep getting extorted here, or we're just gonna come clean and move on. Are you with me? Like, let's go."
Speaking of fans, when tickets went on sale for the Dolphins-Chiefs game in Frankfurt, people were told by the website that they were like 1 millionth in line and basically not getting tickets. They were sold out then in 15 minutes, but some people question how many were actually for sale in the first place and not promised to resale sites. Some people think the NFL got a little greedy here and fucked over the actual fans.
Oh, that totally happened.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
That's a good way to sell your new product. Idiots.
Right? You log on, you're like, ooh, I'm a Chiefs season ticket holder. I'm going to get in there. You are 1 millionth in the queue. Well,
that's the version of bitch you thought.
Yeah.
We got plans for these tickets. And let me tell you, we're lining pockets of German businessmen left and right. And guess what? You might actually be millionth in line in reality.
Yep. As my daughter says, bro, think he did something.
Because let's also not forget, those games were amazing last year. They got a huge turnout. They put their own spin on the fans with the chants and the like soccer kind of feel. That's cool. And a lot of Americans are going to want to go over there and see that. I had a couple coworkers went over to watch the Broncos mid-disaster. So you can imagine, people are willing to see their team over in Frankfurt and drink 2 liters of beer at their seat.
Yeah, they have giant beers over there. They know how to do beer in Germany, except
serve it in Das Boot.
They don't refrigerate it. I don't know what's up with that. The Raiders facility auction has been postponed. A live auction was set to take place July the 10th, but no bidders showed, and it's not clear whether any written bids were submitted for the property either. When registration closed on the 1st, there were 65 people who downloaded the Alameda County's bid packet. They were supposed to show up on the 10th, ready to put in a bid 5% higher than the previous one. It all seems to be in a holding pattern now, though. Nobody knows why. It is the former headquarters on Harbor Bay Parkway has 100,607 square feet. It's a 2-story office building and a gated rear parking lot with electric vehicle charging stations and a loading dock. Sounds like a perfect HQ for us, honestly. The former training facility sits on 11 acres, but has less than 20,000 square feet of interior space because of an expansive field. We'll have a full-size football field. I think we should look into this. If nobody else is bidding, we can just get it for whatever we bid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
Closed bid. I like it.
Do you want to own property?
I read an article earlier this week that said, people are coming after McDaniel pretty hard. This is something that they're.
Oh, they know Josh McDaniels?
Really on his case about
We're losing Coach.
Coach is drifting into the void.
Yeah, he's sundowning.
All right, let's move on from Coach.
Utah
Giants.
Give me 2. Yeah, they're not happy.
No. Well, when you burn bridges with franchises,
I did.
Nobody's gonna like you, Daniel. But back to what Eric was saying. Why would anybody want to buy property in Northern California right now?
Yeah, I suppose it's not a great idea. It's either going to start on fire or get taxed into oblivion.
That's the latter is more what I'd be concerned about. All these big public programs have to get their money from somewhere, and it's most likely going to be the people who own property.
Yep. What's this extra $20K? Oh, that's the reparations charge. Just don't worry about it. The Giants will put their logo on the 50-yard line rather than the NFL logo at midfield in MetLife Stadium. The New York Football Giants will display their team logo. I think the Hall of Fame game should be the Jets versus the Giants for the 50-yard line. Whoever wins gets to put their logo on it all year round.
Nice. That's cool.
Like
Utah, give me 2.
Let's go, Johnny.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So basically, they planted their flag before the Jets, and also simultaneously gave the middle finger to the NFL.
Yeah, I like
love it. I'd do the same thing.
Makes me like the Giants' Brian Daboll even more, and he's back. Coach, you look fed up with technology.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can anybody?
I think there's a tornado going
Hear
through
me?
Oklahoma.
Yeah, they got a twister down there. Now and again we can. Yep. Have you seen this?
Anybody hear me at all?
Yep. Sure can.
I have no idea what's going on. It's like something just.
There you are. I see you.
You're getting twisted. Oh man, he's getting Helen hunted down there.
That's right.
No, you're
Can you
good.
hear me now?
We can see you and hear
Yeah,
you.
you're good.
We got you, Coach.
Literally, I'm just sitting here, and then shit just goes crazy.
I wonder where driving north.
I don't know. The other night I was in a lightning storm. Today it's perfectly nice. I don't know.
I wonder where it changes from sit to set. Probably Kansas City.
Yeah.
South of Kansas City, you say set. North of Kansas City, you say set. Have you seen this quarterback show on Netflix? People on the internet are talking bad about it, like it's not that cool. And it's not, it's not fantastic, but it is football content and it's behind the scenes stuff. It's making me like Kirk Cousins. I know that, and I'm upset about that. He's a great dude. He just reads to his kids and throws footballs.
That's right.
They go shopping at Costco. They're like the all-American family, the Cousins is. His wife dresses him.
What's the criticism of it? He's too
that it's footage from last year. Nobody cares about last season anymore. We want new stuff. This is all stuff you can see. It's not as good as NFL films. Well, nothing is as good as NFL films.
Yeah.
They've been fine-tuning that for 40 years.
Yeah. I agree. That's kind of a miss. Like, if they can do Hard Knocks and pump it out before this season, like, I mean, it's nice that they're showing footage and stuff, but I agree. Like, it would be cool if they did something pre this season.
This would have been better in like March.
Yeah.
When we were just like, I could go for a little football.
Yes.
Now we want Hard Knocks. We want, who's going to make the team, all that stuff. Hard Knocks, Jets, that's going to be fun. Rogers was asked at some golf tournament how he feels about it. He says they shoved it down our throats and we have to deal with it. Aw.
Oh, so sad.
You get more attention. That's terrible. It's terrible.
Right.
Speaking of attention, whores, LeBron has announced that he's coming back. He said that he'll never cheat this game. The day he steps on the court and can't honor the blah, 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 he'll retire. But luckily for you people, that day is not today. Well, thank God. Because I do want to see LeBron catch flopping fouls. I don't want to be robbed of that.
Oh, my God. Right. Didn't he do jersey a number change? Did that happen?
Yeah, that was to take heat off the fact that he put his foot in his mouth at the ESPYs by saying, luckily for you guys, I'm coming back. He changed his jersey number. He had that waiting in the kitty for whenever he did something dumb and annoying, so that it's in honor of Bill Russell. He's going back to 23 because he doesn't want the Bill Russell comparison, but he's not afraid of having the Michael Jordan comparison.
Right.
Interesting.
This got me thinking this guy has gotten so out of touch with reality that it's impossible for him to be cool anymore. It's kind of like the Mark Zuckerberg of the NBA. You can do anything, but we're all still going to think you're a dork. Like he's been caught in weird lies, going back to when somebody painted something racist on his gate and then somehow it got painted over immediately, but nobody was even at his house. There's just all these things of him like, I was there when, and it's like, I don't know, Brian Williams, I don't think you were. And I think he's completely jumped the shark, and it's probably time for him to go because nobody asked if he was retiring when he hinted at that to shield from the fact that he got swept by Jokic. Nobody was looking for a response. We all knew he was coming back, and that's fine, but don't act like we care if you come back, LeBron, because 80% of NBA fans would be totally fine if you retired today.
Don't you believe that? I do. Like, nobody's going to have a heartbreak or heartache or wish they could see one more game or one more year. Nobody.
It's been 21 years.
He's the guy who needs a farewell tour, too. He's got to have that.
Oh, yeah.
He needs to go city to city and get his presents. Yep.
I don't know too many guys that can break the scoring record and still just be that unlikable. And it just comes down to everything he does is so out of touch with reality that it's just like, okay, you can go away now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're good. We're all set on LeBron. We have an in-season NBA tournament coming in a relentless effort to squeeze every cent possible out of the sport. The NBA has decided they need a tournament in the middle of the season. It will start November 3rd and wrap up December 9th. All 30 teams are randomly split into groups of 5. Those teams all play each other once in like a round robin style. The top 6 group winners plus 2 wild cards move on to the knockout rounds, which will be single elimination games played on December 4th and December 5th. If I know the NBA like I think I do, there's like 9 days in December where there's no games at all. All 67 of the in-season tournament games will count as regular season games except the championship game. No idea why.
I like it. To be honest, I do like it. I think baseball should adopt something like this to keep you interested because they have 162 games. But I like that they're mixing it up. The only thing I don't like is knowing the NBA, they're going to try to, and they've been trying to infuse tech into some of this stuff. I think they're probably going to overdo it with the promotions. You can now swap your image into players and stuff like that. I think the way they're going to roll it out is going to be a little cringy and clunky, when in reality it should just be like, no, we've got a tournament. It's going to add value to the season, that part of the season that nobody watches, right? When conference tournament heats up for college, or conference play heats up for college. So, I'll watch because it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I don't know that the NBA is going to roll this out year one and it be not weird, and we'll have a million questions about what's happening.
What do you win if you win the tournament?
You are the in-season champion. I assume there's a financial prize. I just looked at how it worked. I probably should have looked at the actual prize.
I was just saying, I don't know. Are they going to be excited to do it? Are you going to get full effort from them? Is it going to be exciting to watch, or are they going to half-ass it because it's they're going to look at it
a regular season game that they can skip if they don't want to play?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I wonder how many guys we'll see sitting out.
This is like people who are really smart but really dumb, and I don't understand why you would need a tournament in the middle of your season to tell you that your season's too damn long.
I know.
I mean, the season in the NBA and the season in the major in MLB is too long. I mean, it's just there's too many games, and I just don't.
Would it help for?
I don't dig it. You got to play a tournament in the middle of your season, and then we get to, like I said, what's it mean? You get to hoist a trophy and say you're the mid-season champion?
Yeah,
I mean that
you get the NBA Cup, and each player gets $500,000. Each player on the second place team gets $200,000.
The NBA Cup, seriously.
Yep, the NBA Cup.
Have to, like John said, they're going to have to totally, I don't know. They're going to have to.
I could see this moving into you punch your ticket for a wild card.
Right, yep. That's what I was thinking. If it has something.
I actually could kind of get into that. If you want to throw out a deal, we're going to play a tournament. Winner gets in the playoffs, punches a ticket for the end, no matter what happens.
That's cool.
Yeah. Speaking of punching tickets, got a little update on our buddy Larry Nassar, the scumbag convicted of assaulting untold numbers of young female gymnasts. He was in prison last week watching Wimbledon with some fellow prisoners. He made a remark about the female competitors, something along the lines of, hey, wouldn't this be so much better if those were young girls out there playing? And Shane McMillan, who's in there for meth and assaulting a correctional officer, said, I'm sorry, what? And stabbed him with a makeshift weapon as many times as he could before they pulled him off. He was stabbed in the neck, chest, back, 10 times, still survived the attack. So now they're going to lock him in solitary, where he'll just basically be buried alive. But
they'll get him.
Solid effort. Good game, good effort. He tried.
They'll get him. If that's one thing I've heard, that fellow inmates hate pedophiles.
Yeah, it's not a thing you want to be. It's not a thing you want to be, especially in the old joint. Since we're talking violence, Tyson Fury is going to box Francis Ngannou, and all reports are it's going to be a pay-per-view sparring session. Boxers can't beat MMA guys at MMA, and MMA guys can't win a boxing match against a boxer. That's just the natural order of sports. So I think we just need to stop doing these. This is going to be Mayweather and what's his name, McGregor, all over again.
Gosh.
Yeah. Truth.
Well, and they're going to make a ton of money.
Oh yeah, they're
right.
Get
everybody's going to tune in.
This is the thing when, Dana White is pretty smart about what he does, and these fighters become champion, and then they get really irritated at their affiliation with the UFC. But the UFC is the only game in town. They hold all the cards. I mean, you can go fight for Bellator or Strikeforce or some of these other deals, but the UFC is the one selling the pay-per-views every month. And Ngannou got the belt. He got mad at his contract deal. They tried to put him and John Jones together on a card because that would sell a million pay-per-views. He got mad about the split. Some of the things he was asking White in the UFC was like, nope, can't happen. So he left and went out on his own. And this is kind of the first thing since leaving the UFC that he's come across. And they say it's going to get him paid. I mean, he came out, they said it was going to be $8 million, and he laughed at that. And then it was supposed to be way over $8 million. So we'll see. I mean, I'm sure people will buy it.
Yeah, he wanted to do it when he was in UFC. Dana White said, no, I'm never doing that shit again. Now he left. He got his fight. He gets to give Dana White the finger. He's already won, basically, before the fight starts. Now he's going to go get his face pounded in for, I don't know, 15, 20 million bucks. This is a fight. Champion John Bones Jones will face former champion Stipe Miocic on November 11th in Madison Square Garden. I think Stipe has maybe taken more haymakers than advised to the head. He was on the Believe You Me podcast. I'll tell you what he said. You tell me if what he means, if anything. He said, I'm not going to let him dictate what he wants to do. I'm going to dictate what I want to do. I'm going to do what I want. The minute I let him stop doing what I want, I've lost the fight. But if I do what I want, my chances are a lot better of winning than losing. There's a lot of words for
a boxer.
If I'm better, I'll win.
Yeah, was he quoting Biden just then?
73,000, 100 million, trillion.
Corn pop.
Punches.
There's a couple of theories on this deal. You got, he's coming out of kind of out of retirement. He hasn't fought significantly in a while.
2021.
John Jones is kind of at the top of his game right now, and I think John Jones is looking for a way to punch the ticket to retirement too, and so he picks him. And I read an article earlier this week talking about, they thought it was ridiculous that Jones was pulling this guy pretty much out of the stands to fight him instead of taking on the number one contender. And they were talking about how great this number one contender is. But John Bones Jones is probably the greatest MMA fighter in UFC history. I mean, through all of his problems and all of his troubles, the guy has very, very rarely been beat at anything. I mean, he's just genetically, really, really a quality fighter, and he has an advantage in just his body type. So this should be interesting if the guy is in any kind of shape, or form in old school shape to fight, because he hasn't fought since Ngannou, and he lost, but that was a competitive fight.
Yeah.
I'll watch
the
that
winner
one.
basically gets to claim they're the best.
Yeah, they're going to claim they're the best heavyweight of all time, and that's kind of what John Jones is trying to do, is check that guy off of his list. He's the only guy left. He's the only guy left he hasn't beaten. I think this fight came about 3 years too late.
Yeah, I think so too. It's sort of like Mayweather Pacquiao.
Yeah.
You got to remember that both of these guys, Stipe or whatever his name is, however you say his name, but he was the champion for a long time, and John Jones did a little detour through rehab and suspension more than twice. I mean, he just continued to get in trouble and have problems. And now that he's back at heavyweight, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be a great fight, but I think, it'll definitely be interesting if the other guy's in shape.
We got a few fight stories here. Devin Haney was arrested. This kid had the world in the palm of his hand. He's 30-0. He just beat Lomachenko. He's out on the town with his boys in Los Angeles. They got pulled over for an unsafe lane change, which that's a bullshit reason 98 out of 100 times, I think. Is it not, Coach? Oh, Coach is otherwise engaged. Cops search the car, not sure why. The driver tells the police there's a gun in the car. They find a semi-automatic pistol under the driver's seat. Nobody steps up and says, that's my gun. Because the vehicle is registered to Devin Haney, he ends up in handcuffs. He was in the passenger seat. Des Bryant got on Twitter and said that he needs to cut all those guys loose from his friend group because none of them stepped up and took the gun charge. How do you not have a legit licensed carrying bodyguard at this point in your career? But also, How does nobody say that's my gun? Get a guy. Get a guy who's gonna willingly be put into handcuffs for you. You need one.
You need to get a guy before you think that you're gonna need a guy. So I just want to say that right now, and knowing that the Hall of Fame Fantasy Football Weekend is coming up, so you guys can have time to plan to bring a guy.
Yep, we're gonna need a guy down there for sure. Maybe Jordan. Jordan's got an honest face.
He does, right?
Be a guy. If you enjoy herbal remedies and you don't want to end up like Devin Haney next time you're caught speeding, go to Canna Bloom Pharmacy. See the renovations they got going on down there at 2770 East Sumner Street. It is something else. They have renovated the whole place. It's high end. They will help you find exactly what you're looking for, even if you're too distracted by the brand new bar or the crazy epoxy floor or Canna Bloom Studios over there in the corner. Go to Canna Bloom Pharmacy with an F.com and enter code PSR to get 10% off of your purchase, or go in there and see all the cool shit. Home run derby, Julio Rodriguez hit 41 in round 1. That's a record. Took out home run derby specialist Pete Alonso for the second year in a row. Vlad Guerrero ended up winning. Vlad Guerrero Jr., making him and Vlad Guerrero Sr. the only father-son duo to win the home run derby.
That's so
cool. Rodriguez and then a Rosarina in the final. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a historically cool thing. Yay, baseball.
You know, the old man won it without gloves too.
Nice.
Vlad the Impaler. So that's a top nickname.
Totally.
Yep. I don't know how I feel about this timed format, but I think we're losing. The broadcast for sure has lost its way. It's showing you the batter swinging, and then it doesn't show you the ball land. It doesn't show you the kid catching the ball. We need the batter up in the corner. Just show the batter's box the whole time, and then give us the whole field. Show us the kids. Show us the balls bouncing off bleachers. People fighting over him. One kid took a line drive off the face, but he's okay. AK from Millie Goat said we should put a fence up right outside the infield, and that would stop those rockets from hitting people in the face.
That's right. Build a wall.
It's really entertaining, though. Build a wall.
Build that net.
That's right.
The Yankees have committed baseball sacrilege by adding a sponsorship patch to their iconic uniforms. George Steinbrenner is spinning in his grave. What does that mean?
Absolutely.
I looked into it. It's nothing interesting. There's no cool root of it. It just somebody would be angry.
No,
I know. I'm big into etymology.
Me
Not
too.
etymology. That's bugs.
Huh.
Anyway, Star with 2 R's Insurance is going to pay $25 million to deface the Yankees uniforms for the season.
That's
They're going to
all
put
they
a
sold out for?
big old patch on the sleeve. Yep, $25 million.
That's not that much.
Yankees. That's not enough.
Yankees. It's not.
Nope.
Oh my
I
gosh.
So disgusting.
I was thinking, where could they get this money? Their hot dogs are $6. It's one of the more expensive ones. You can't really jack that up. Whoa. The beer is actually 47 cents an ounce, which is about middle of the road. You could raise beer prices. Miller Park beer is 69 cents an ounce. That makes a 20-ounce beer about $14. So if we'll pay $14, a fucking New Yorker will pay $14. Get your $25 million there.
Oh my God. There's so many places you can stick a logo besides the damn uniform. So many places.
Yeah. I don't know. Put something on the mound or something before you.
Do they still have the rule where you can't have facial hair? Because the minute they sold out, I'd say, you know what? If we're defacing history, then guess what? I'm going to have a porn stash the entire rest of the season.
Yeah. Weird with the little rubber band things. So just.
Yeah.
I was looking into the beer prices. Interested me. They said they sell the average. The article said the average is 6,000 beers a game. That doesn't seem right. You got what, 40,000 people in there?
That's low.
Probably like 1 in 4 is going to have more than one beer. So that's like 20,000 beers right there. I'm thinking you could tack on maybe $1 to the beer prices and get this money. Or you could take the attendance and raise ticket prices across the board by $6. That would give you 25 million. Or would you rather have a disgusting jersey? I don't know. The choice is yours. This Alabama baseball gambling case is interesting. The details are coming out. This guy is one of the biggest morons of all time. I don't know why he was the one chosen to get the hot tip. If you're this guy's friend, you have to know that he's going to make a disaster out of it. He walked up to the window at the sports book with $100,000 in cash and tried to put it on this college baseball game that had almost zero bets on it while texting with the coach of the Alabama baseball team. When the casino showed hesitancy, he told them something along the lines of, "No, guys, you don't understand. I have to get this bet in. I have inside information as to why it's going to win, so it's really important." He was so undisciplined with his texting that the security camera could read what he was saying in his text messages.
Loser. Oh my God.
It almost feels on purpose.
Yeah.
Right. He was like,
Did the normal guy have a sick day or something? They had to send in a backup? No, I need this. Somebody's going to break my knees if I don't put in this bet because I have insider information. Please help me.
he said all the wrong things.
Guys, this is a special situation. I need you to make an exception.
I don't understand how nobody saw that being a disaster from the jump. I mean, you walk in on a Tuesday or Wednesday and put $100,000 on any college baseball game, you're going to raise some eyebrows. I mean, college baseball is not bet on that much in anyway. I mean, it shocks me that this, I mean, it just wasn't very smart on any front.
No, it was not. We'll save the alien ships for next week. I want to do the runway protesters. We got some more protesters. These guys are either really dedicated to the cause or they're really bad at chemistry. Members of the Last Generation climate activist group were all jazzed up after their hero Greta Thunberg gave one of her big "How dare you" speeches. So they went ahead and glued their hands to the runway with cement and epoxy. She's still using "How dare you." That's like saying "get her done" in 2023. You need to write some new shit, Greta. And this isn't like when you get a drop of super glue on your thumb or something. You're like, oh, there's a little black mark that's going to be there. Or hit it with an alcohol wipe. No, this is a mixture of cement and epoxy. They're saying that there's a good chance they have to amputate.
That's badass.
There you go.
I love that.
It's dedication. You're dedicated to the cause? You don't even have a stump, bro.
You can't even flip
How am
off.
I supposed to take you seriously with 10 fingers over there?
Hey, can I just pause for a minute? Can we just have a moment of gratitude that none of our children epoxy cement their hands to shit?
Yes.
Because we get any one of us could absolutely. We have a lot of kids in this room, and one of them could have went that way.
Yeah. Sure, mine had Gushers for breakfast one day, but she didn't glue her hand to anything.
Thank you.
So we're good.
Yeah, they give a big FU to, they can't give a big FU to anybody because they don't have middle fingers.
Nope. These idiots
They can give a big
stump off. Yeah. They want fossil fuels gone by 2030. That's super realistic. They delayed a few flights. I don't know if that's going to get it done.
They're also going to want us to subsidize their new fucking hand.
Yep.
Fossil fuels gone by 2030, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only
did you brought to you by the same people that think battery operated vehicles are a good idea.
Brought to you by the same people that think that's worth cutting a hand off of.
Yep.
I'd give my right hand, left hand. So not to mention the fact that they're probably going to get fined. So there's
Hold up. How are we going to have fucking people wanting to be amputated?
So that's already a thing.
So they can look like they were in a cause.
Yep.
I got a stump, dude. You got a stump?
Yeah. I'm dedicated. I mean, sure, I can't handcuff myself to bridges or anything anymore, but I'll just glue my feet.
We'll have to bitch for the cops, right?
Oh,
Coach,
yeah.
if you got one stumpy,
get in there with a jackhammer.
What do you got to just put the other one behind their deal and hook it up to their belt loop or something? Because you can't handcuff the stump in a hand.
How many one-armed men have you arrested?
Yeah.
Yeah, you ever arrested a one-armed guy?
No. No.
No.
One leg,
Get
yes.
Trudy on.
Yeah, how does that work? Yeah, they can't.
Oh.
They're not gonna cut off part of the runway.
Oh. Cut off
Where
part
was
of
it?
the
Never-
Is this
never
at
had that
Milan?
issue.
Is this at
They do
Fashion
have a
Week?
hobble restraint though. That works.
Toby Lewis, he's a poker player. Some folks on the internet are suggesting that, well, he's a professional poker player, not like you or I. They're suggesting that he wears camera glasses to cheat. The proposed scheme was laid out by a Reddit user named Restorix. He says, so if I were to do this, I'd have my buddies watching the live feed of my cards, put them into a solver and relay the info straight back to me over a phone call. If I was wearing AirPods, I could even talk back and it would just look like I was talking things through in my head. Now that I think of it, what stops people from getting information over headphones while in a hand now? So we could have, because it's on a delay, so you can't do that. But if you had camera glasses with a live feed to your buddies, I don't know what a solver is. So I'm just going to stay off the poker tables.
That's a great plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. You'd have to. Oh my gosh.
I mean, you want to talk about a quick way to lose your hand is do that.
Yeah, that'll do it. Make them pop your eyes out for Charlie fucking M. This is our last, we'll end with a tale of inspiration from the world of sport. Dayton Weber is 25 years old from Charlotte, North Carolina, and he won the Super Hole competition at Milwaukee last week. That's championship cornhole for you plebes. This is impressive considering Dayton was given.
Oh no, we lost him.
Yeah. I know what this is about, though. I could take over. I'm just saying.
Let's hear it.
Well, he basically is an amputee, and he has, like, I don't know how, but he's perfected his cornhole. Oh, there he is. Hey, Eric.
How much of that did you get?
None.
Just the beginning.
Just go right ahead, mister.
So this kid, Dayton
Just the
Weber,
tip.
he wins the Super Hole contest. He was given a 3% chance to live at birth. He made it all the way to 25. And, oh, by the way, did I mention he has no arms or legs? And yet he's pinpoint accurate with a bag at 30 feet. It's wild.
It's crazy. The
He
foot
like leaps forward to throw it.
And they were like dead ass right in the whole time. Every single
This
one.
thing was in Milwaukee. I didn't know. We could have went. He could have got credentials.
So how does he throw it?
With his two
With
like
his
stumps, like his arms.
Yeah, and he just like tosses it.
He flips them both upward as he lunges forward, and I mean it lands, it goes in the fucking hole. It's
Every time. It's crazy.
Nice.
kicking the shit out of people with four limbs.
Totally.
Nice.
He
Nice.
owns those guys.
Wacky, wild
Wow.
stuff. Boy, we had a big doc, but we jammed it in there, didn't we? Thanks, Red Bull.
That's what she said.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Downloads and reviews do mean a lot. We appreciate every single one of them. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I mean, you guys, also the people. Head over to PatriotSportsNow.com for all of our latest goings on. Follow the new account at PSRNTWK on the Twitter. Till next time, be good to each other. Chris, kick the outro music.